Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, cats, dogs, and goldfish,
All right, Fanny
welcome,
Fresh.
welcome to the His and Hers podcast, episode 5. Whew, I am John Tay Grace. Thank you for joining us. And joining me tonight, I have the lovely, the intelligent, the incomparable Sherelle Monet. How you doing, girl?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. How are you this evening?
I am relaxed this evening.
Relax.
I am
Good.
relaxed. I'm
Good.
relaxed. I'm good. Things are looking up.
That's
Got my
right.
new bedroom set going on. Got my new bed put up today, and I'm happy because it's my dream bed. It's a
That's right.
canopy bed
That's
because we want to
right.
keep it royal around here.
Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm glad things are going well out in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I've been rooting for you. You've been having the new job taken off, and I am wishing for good things for you. And I just want you to continue on your path, continue on your journey. Don't let nothing deter you, slow you down, stop you, anything like that, because you finally are moving in the direction that we spoke about years ago. We were both in a place where we were not satisfied with what we were getting and where things were. And so it's just beautiful to see that where we're at, what, 2 years, about 2 or 3 years later, we're both
Yeah,
in totally different places. And I'm so grateful to see that. You know,
absolutely.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Same.
Continue on. Well, as always, we don't have a specific topic. We never start off with a specific topic unless there's something pressing going on that we want to address. Last week, we took a week off. We were thinking about doing a Father's Day episode, but for someone like me, I have baby mama problems, and Father's Day is not always the happiest um, occasion for someone like me. So I was thinking about letting all of that out and, doing a, you know, Father's Day dedication for the fathers who don't get to see their kids and, love their kids, but for whatever reason don't have the type of connection that they want to have with them. But you know what? That's all right. We ain't even gotta do all of that. As men, sometimes we just take our lumps and keep on pushing. Because who wants to hear about that? At the end of the day, everybody's got their own issues, their own problems, and your problems, your burdens are. Who's to say your burdens are not just as heavy or heavier than mine? So we're not gonna do that. I want to keep it positive, keep it light. So that's what we're gonna do this evening. You know, is that all right with you?
It's fine with me.
All right, all right. Well, what's going on? What's going on? Oh,
Let's go.
oh. I have a date tonight.
What? Hold up. Oh, somebody. Oh, okay. Okay, leave
I
me in the dust.
I
Go
have a
ahead,
date
boo.
this evening.
Do your thing. Yes.
Whew, it's been a long time. I gotta blow the dust off my book of game. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta pull out some tricks tonight because I'm about to go sit down with a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I've known her. So she's not anybody new, and that's one thing about me. I don't like new. I hate new. And I know that that's bad when you're trying to meet and you know fall in love, but I tend to stick with people that I know or have some sort of history with, just because it's just hard. I don't like the going through the process again of finding out, learning about a person, and then if it doesn't work out, or if you decide that you don't like that person, it's like it feels like a waste. So this person is someone that I've never been with her, like been in a relationship with her, But we do have history. We have dated. We have gone out before. So, um, you know, she's kind of stuck around in the road. I don't want to say the rotation. I hope she don't see this, but she's stuck around in my life. So, I'm kind of interested to see, if this can potentially go further. And I'll just leave it there because I don't want to put too much hope and too much expectation into this. All right. Um. So with that being said, let's talk. Let's talk dates. Let's talk first dates. Let's talk second
Yeah.
dates. Let's start there. Maybe I
Okay.
can enlighten the women about what some of the the good things and the bad things are about dating nowadays. Dating is a whole thing. It's changed in some ways with internet, social media, and just how our society has progressed. But in other ways, it hasn't changed at all from the old days. The back in the days. It's still about having a good time, showing a woman or a man that they're valued and that you're interested in them. And at the end of the day, it's about seeing if if we like this and if we want to continue with this, right? I mean, is that fair to say? Um, so there are some things that I think women need to know about, especially now in this day and age. Nowadays, women, we got these dine and dash queens that y'all. I'm gonna say y'all, but I don't mean you. But I'm gonna say y'all, as in your species. Y'all kind of take advantage of the man's ability to buy y'all dinner or take y'all out and give you a night out, right? Um, it's funny. I saw a woman post something and she said, "I paid for this first date with the man, and now I see what men are going through. I see why y'all expect something at the end of the night. I see why y'all take it more serious than a woman does. When you're spending your money on a night with a woman, not saying, I'm not saying that a woman owes you anything, but what I'm saying is that you're more invested because you actually put up something that you value, and that's your money, and money is not easy to come by. So if a man decides to spend his money on you to give you a good night and have a good time with you, then at least I would say at least be appreciative of his effort. Okay, so that's the first lesson. Don't just take it as a matter of course, just because you find that's what it takes to get with you. Be a little bit more sympathetic to the fact that this man is putting in effort and putting in work trying to get next to you. Okay, because nowadays women just how many let me ask you as a woman,
As a woman.
how many dates have you had that the man paid and well, I don't know how to ask this. Let's just start there. What percentage of the dates that you go on do you pay, or do y'all go Dutch, or does the man pay? Let's start there.
Okay, so are we talking about like dates with like romantic intent, or are we
Yes.
talking about friend
Yes.
dates?
No, no. Let's leave friend dates out of this. Let's talk about
Okay,
only dates that are we're trying to
romantic
figure out.
intent.
Yeah, romantic
Okay,
intent. Let's just stick with
okay.
that.
As far as that goes, if we are not in a relationship, if it's like a first or second date,
Yeah.
I typically do not pay.
Okay. As you
Now,
should. As you should. You shouldn't pay.
with that being said,
Mhm.
I haven't been. I don't. I haven't. I as a woman my age, I haven't dated a lot.
Okay.
I haven't been out on like a butt ton of dates.
Not
I
like a whole bunch of, okay,
mm-mm,
right. Me neither. Me neither. Uh, so that's not unheard of, you know. Like
mm-mm.
I think we're very, very cerebral people. We think a lot, and so sometimes we overthink, and I think sometimes we think ourselves out of dates and situations. Unfortunately, so that's not unheard of. You know, sometimes I know sometimes I talk myself out of a date. You know, just from just I could have just it could have just been shut up, shut up. You already got her. Shut up. And so I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't go on very many dates, neither. Um, but so you do expect to be taken on a date if it's a romantic date, right? And that's the expectation. That's
A proper
totally
date,
fine.
yes.
Yes,
A
if it's
proper
a
date.
proper date, a real date, you expect that. And I think the majority of women expect that as well. So all I'm saying is because y'all expect that, sometimes I think that y'all forget how much effort, how much planning it takes to give a woman a good night, you know, a fun night, especially if y'all are hitting more than one spot. Like if you're doing dinner and a movie, or if you're doing dinner and an event, you know what I'm saying? That starts to take a toll, not only on a man's pocket, but also on his, you know, his confidence, you know, because you gotta you got to stay on, you know, for several hours. You know, by the end of the night, it feels like a job interview. It does. A real date feels like a job interview as a man because you're trying to say the right things, you're trying to do the right things, and you don't want to mess it up. And you, hopefully, you say and do the things that get you another interview or the job, right?
That
Um,
happens with women as well, believe it or not. Like I've
really,
actually said that term, like that phrase a few times. Like I
really.
feel like dating is me trying out for the part of a girlfriend. I've felt that way like essentially my whole life because we have to say the right things. Because okay, so we're
True,
coming
very
from
true.
like we're coming from a different standpoint. And again, I can only speak for myself, and I know a lot of times I don't fall into the status quo when it comes to that kind of thing. So like, um, for example, we live in a society, especially as black women who get fetishized a lot, where we got to prove that we ain't no hoe. But
Absolutely.
I mean, okay, one of my favorite rappers from high school said it best. If he hit the first night, he ain't gonna call back. If he don't hit the first night, he ain't gonna call back.
Wow.
What do you do? That's Mr. Lloyd Banks for those of y'all that do not know.
Wow.
That
Okay.
is that is the mindset a lot of women go into dates thinking
Hmm.
about.
Okay. Number one, that was a bar. Let's just take a moment. Let's just
Yes,
take a moment
yes,
because
yes.
that is there's a lot of wisdom in that. Okay. Because there's an expectation on the first date, or there's an expectation on any date. I'm not gonna lie. As a man, you're hoping that it goes all the way, and that's okay. I will say this: I don't believe in that. Where if it happens to go all the way and we make it all the way to the bed on the first date or on the date, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna continue to
Right.
deal with you or that I'm not gonna call you back or whatever. He's in a different level of
And that's
life,
what
so he
logic
did.
tells you.
It's
Logic
the
tells you that.
you're right,
However, comma, how many people sit up here and try to live a lifestyle that they don't live?
right, right.
And, and I'm not gonna lie, I am considered a quiet, good girl, and there's a stereotype about the types that
That
we
y'all don't
attract,
put
like the types that we attract, the types that attract us, it's like, okay, if you put out on the first night, that means you're a hoe. I don't
Correct.
want to deal with you.
Exactly.
You
Like you're
don't
not the
put out
type. You're not the
If
type
you
that
don't
deserves
put
a
out the first
relationship. Yeah.
night,
Okay.
then you're a prude and you ain't never gonna put out
All
and
right.
you think you're better than me, so I'm still not gonna call you
Right.
back.
You're
So
using the
like
man. You're
that's where
just.
I think some of these women start getting that mindset, like, you know what, it's kind of a lose-lose for me anyway. At least I can get a free meal out of it.
Mm,
Like I think that's where some of it comes
okay.
from. Now I'm not saying that that's the reason why, because again, I come from
Okay.
it as a different standpoint. If I'm talking to a dude and I'm kind of aware of his financial status without taking away his manhood, I might make date suggestions
Mm.
so that the pressure's not on him to do whatever. So you know, I'm a I'm a nature girl. I like being out in nature. I like being near the
Oh.
water. So I might be like, look, you pay for the groceries. I got the picnic basket. Let's,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
again, that's coming from my viewpoint and how I
Yes.
kind of look at things
Right.
because of
Right.
where I've been.
Right. And bless your heart, because women like you who understand that nature, outdoors, locations can be a great backdrop or space for a date. Y'all save so much money for us, and you take a lot of the pressure of finding a place or a spot to go to off of the man. And that helps us out so much. So kudos to you, because at the end of the day, it's not about the place, right? It's about y'all connecting
Right,
as
right,
as two
absolutely.
people hopefully becoming one, right? So yes, if you can go to some place where there's not a whole bunch of distractions, maybe a lake, a body of water, or some place where you have a gorgeous view where y'all can just sit and admire this and talk and connect. That is the ideal. And yes, you are going to bring some snacks, you're going to bring some drinks, or you're going to bring some, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that saves a whole bunch
Well,
of
I
time,
think that's
effort,
just
money, and
I think that's a smart move when we're talking about first and second dates because, like you said, and
mm,
it kind of goes back to thinking on a business level. We talk about ROI in business all the
right,
time, return on
return of
investment.
investment.
So, like, this is an investment. However, I'm not gonna sit up here like, ooh, I see Amazon's doing good. I'm about to just throw $5,000 at Amazon.
Right.
I'm be like, okay, no, let me throw $10 and see what happened with that first.
Yes.
So it's not that you can give somebody a nice date and not go broke. Now, I will say, I do have certain restaurants that if you're like, what restaurant do you want to go to on a first date? There's a list of restaurants that I feel like if you have a problem with taking me there, then we're gonna have a problem. And the reason we're gonna have a problem is because that's probably the most expensive meal I'll ever ask you for.
mm,
Like,
okay.
because I am such a low key person, if you can't, if my expensive taste is probably uh, normal people's regular taste.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like real life, I don't eat a lot. So like if you take me out to dinner, I'm probably getting a kids meal. So if I ask you to take me
You ain't gonna
to
get no
dinner,
kids meal. Come on
no,
now.
because I won't eat it, and I don't like throwing
Okay.
food away. I don't like throwing food
Uh-huh.
away. So you
Right.
just spent $10 on this date
Right.
to feed me. But if I'm like, okay, let's go to Longhorn. I want a 20-ounce
Yeah.
asparagus, a salad. Yes, I want a drink. I'm probably gonna want dessert. If that is not doable, but I'm not asking for anything else beyond that, then I can gauge what you're willing to do and what you want from me and kind of where your head is as
Mm-hmm.
far as this date thing goes. Now, I'm not going to say sit up here and be like, take me to Pompano's. Nah, bro, we got to be in a
Right.
relationship.
Right.
Like, we got to be together for that because I
And
wouldn't
you know
expect
what's
that.
funny?
Because
Because I was
then,
considering Papa Do's tonight, and I was like, ugh. I mean, I can do it, but at the same time, like, damn, Papa Do's is like, I know it's gonna be good, but I know it's gonna be expensive, and
yeah,
so yeah.
that's not something I would ask for on a first date. Now, circling back, if as a man you tell me I'm taking you here, I'm not gonna be like, oh, are you sure you can afford it? Nah, because you sat up here and told me you could. I didn't ask you. Now,
Uh-huh.
don't volunteer something and then get mad when I accept what you volunteered.
Yes, yeah. Don't fake the funk. Like, oh,
Right.
whatever, girl. Yeah, just pick a place. It's all
Like,
good.
no, right. So
And
if
then
you say
when
I'm
somebody
taking
say
you to
Morton's
Domino's for our first date,
Roof Chris or Morton's
because I mean,
Steakhouse or something like
like,
that, then you like, damn,
okay,
girl.
fun story, fun first date story,
Yes.
fun first date story, fun
Story
first date
time. Story
story. And
time.
there was not a second date. I promise you, there was not. But there was other issues that went into that. But after this first date, no second date. So this
Okay.
first date, I was I drove the person lived in Atlanta and I lived 45 minutes away
Okay.
and so I drove up to Atlanta cuz that just made more sense compared to where I lived and drove up to their place, refused to drink and stuff before we went out, trying to keep my head clear.
Right.
And we went to this really really nice Japanese restaurant,
Oh,
like
okay.
really nice. I had sake for the first
Uh,
time. We had sushi. It was just beautiful.
good.
And then we it was like really really nice, and then we
Mhm.
just ran around and they're like, yeah, we're going somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then, so they passed a little stuff because Atlanta, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so far so good, I'll partake.
Right, right. No, don't take the glasses off. What happened? What happened?
We got to our next destination,
What was the next destination?
the
Do-
Pink Pony.
okay, so I'm just gonna take a wild guess because
Yes,
any
sis.
any place called the Pink Pony, mm, somebody's
No,
naked in there.
there was a 6'1" Amazon.
Oh,
But Ooh, she
well, I happen to, as a short man, I happen to have a thing for Amazons. But you're talking about an Amazon woman, right? Not an Amazon guy.
no, an Amazon woman, six
Okay,
foot
okay.
one, and based off of my particular taste, I was very shocked that I found her as attractive as I did because she was Caucasian, but okay,
but
she had a
that's a
Xena thing going on.
what?
Xena,
Oh, the
I don't know if
Princess
you.
Warrior.
Yes, black hair, blue eyes,
Ooh.
Amazon, big tattoos. But that's where he took me.
Yeah, and that's a departure from okay, we're at a nice
Right.
romantic. This is a
First date.
yeah, yeah.
First date.
That's not where you.
No. And so it ended the way you expected it to end, which deviated from anything further ever being
Right.
romantic with
And
that person.
you know what that was, and I could just
Setting a certain expectation.
well, I think what it
Tangibly.
was is he was trying to get you in a sexual mood, so that way after that location, you would know that this is what the expectation is, because we didn't just saw titties and ass for the last hour, 2 hours, and so now hopefully you know where his mind is at. I think that's kind of the rationale. Now, if he would have taken you to home from the Japanese restaurant, that's not a good segue, but we just been sitting here, putting dollar bills in butt cracks. So I think that yeah, I think
I
that was
and
what
see,
the
I'm the wrong person to do that because I ain't got a lick of sense inside this
right.
head of mine.
You
So
don't
I'm
have
sitting up here
the
looking like
logic
a
there.
librarian. No, I'm like, why they giving her money? She ain't doing enough. Like I'm sitting up here critiquing the dancers at this point in time. I'm like, she did not earn no
You
dollar
like
with that little bit of
that was
whatever
a
she did.
six. That was a six.
Yes, I'm gonna throw a quarter at that. So see, I don't even take that seriously like I'm supposed to. I was supposed to be appalled. I was supposed to be offended. But I was just like, okay, but you know what? That's just the kind of person that person was at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that didn't vibe with what I wanted. But kind of all of that to say that when we look at these dates, like especially first, second, third dates, you got to remember more than anything, like where do you, like, I mean, yes, where you go and stuff. What is the intention you're setting based off of the activities that you are giving this person?
Okay.
Because, like, for
Okay.
me, if you take me to dinner and a movie, I'm not offended. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to you again. But if I'm telling you I'm a person that needs communication, taking me to dinner and a movie, places where I can't really communicate with you to get to know you,
Uh-huh.
is counterproductive to what I want out of a relationship with you.
Okay.
So like that
That's
takes
good to
into
know.
play like just listening to the other person when you take them out, or just
Right.
and just knowing what things are. Like we're
Yes.
almost 40 years old. We're almost
Yes.
40 years old. A first date, a movie for a first date. I'm gonna sit with you for 4 hours, and 2.5 of those we're not gonna say a word to each other.
Right. Right. So don't expect to
Right.
feel like a wall is gonna come down
Right.
after that just because we actually sat together. Yes. And it
Right.
really that's I think that's the key. Read the room. Right.
That's it.
Read the room
That's all
just
you gotta do.
because like you should know where a woman's mind is at the end of the day. You know, you can tell. She'll give you a sign. One thing about women is they'll let you know without letting you know, or some of them will actually let you know. But what I'm saying is they will tell you where things stand. Oh, I had a good time. Let's do this again.
Yeah.
That means we're not there yet, but you did good, and
Right.
let's keep this going. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But if you did have one of those nights where everything just happened to go
Right.
great, she will let you know. Hey, so what are you doing after this? That means something different than,
Right. And and I
So
think that's it. Like you said, it goes back to reading the room, because I don't think, to be 100% honest, if people are honest with themselves, I don't think anybody really has an issue with first night.
right,
I really don't believe
right,
that anybody truly has an issue with that. I believe that some kind of fake societal norm has made it an issue that nobody
mm,
truly has,
mm,
especially the older we get. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because at this point, you should be old enough to know to be careful if that's what you're going to do. You
that's
know what I'm
right,
saying?
that's right,
Um, and so to judge somebody based off of whether or not that happens, because, I know people
very
been
true.
married for 15, 20 years after a supposed
Yes,
one night stand.
yes, right.
Like, I met a couple when me and my girls used to go to Black Bike Week. We met this couple. They were together for 20 years. And we like, where y'all meet?
Mm.
Black Bike Week 20 years ago.
At the Pink Pony, yes, or something like
Hey,
that.
some people do.
Right.
Some people do.
Exactly. Exactly. Or something like that. We're old enough to know that, things do not always start off or happen the way society tells you they're supposed to happen. Right. And
It's not. It's
so,
supposed to be
yeah,
organic.
yes, you got to throw all of that out the window and just focus on what's right in front of you. Stop thinking about what a man or a woman is supposed to do, supposed to be like, what they owe you, or how things are supposed to go in your mind, and just
Right.
look at what is happening and unfolding right in front of you.
The most
That will tell.
absolute truth is what is going on right now.
Ooh, say that again.
The most absolute truth is what is going on right now.
That's
And I
right.
have to tell myself that. And
That's
that keeps
right.
me out of that headspace. You
I
know what I'm
like that.
saying?
I like that, and I will remember that not just for this, but also
Yeah.
just for life.
Yeah.
Like
The most absolute truth is
all the
what is
stuff
happening at this
all the
moment.
stuff in your mind, and that goes to show, like, because when you think about the future, you're always worried because you're hoping that things are
You
going to
don't
go the
know.
way you want. When you think about the past, you're always regretting
Scared.
something and you feel
Yeah.
like, oh, I could have done this better,
Right.
blah blah blah. But when you're in the present, there's none of that.
What's
There's
happening
only
right
this moment, and
now?
you have the ability to create the future and the past that you want in this moment. Oh, you just dropped a gem. Okay, okay. See?
T-shirts coming soon.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. All right,
T-shirts coming
all
soon.
right, all right. Okay, well,
So yeah.
with that being said, we'll wrap this up. There are a few things that I, you know, understood at this night, and one of those is just that what we just discussed. Just be present. The absolute truth is what is happening right now. The other part is don't have any expectations, both what a man or a woman is supposed to do or not. And go go into it with a blank slate, no expectations, and see what happens as the night or the date unfolds, right? And men, don't dig yourself into a hole, a financial hole, trying to make it seem like you can take this woman wherever she wants to go, because she might just take you up on wherever she wants to go, right? But most women are sensitive enough to a man's reality, and we all know that times are hard right now. So we all understand that if you're not able to, take a person all the way out for all the bells and whistles, well, what can you do? All right, well then let's have a good night within that restriction, or within those bounds. Most women understand that, and they won't they won't step outside of that. So be realistic about what you can and can't do, and don't front like you can just, hey baby, wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Just just let's do it. Because she will take you to Morton Steakhouse or Roof Chris, and then you'll be up here on your phone trying to transfer funds and trying to move move money so that way
Get
the
that
check.
day, that payday advance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that payday advance. Well, Miss Sherelle, thank you very much. You've given me a lot to think about for my day tonight. And so, with that being said, maybe next week, we'll be talking about how
Yeah,
to
let's revisit this
how
date.
to how to have a successful relationship off of a date. So who knows? Who knows? We'll see next week what the next topic will be based on what happens tonight.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and we thank each and every one of you for joining us and rocking with us, man. We really appreciate all of you, whether you join us for the entire time or whether you spend a minute or two with us. We appreciate all of you, and we are this slow build, and but you're rocking with us, and we're rocking with you. So thank you, and everybody be blessed and have a good night.
Appreciate
Peace.
y'all.
All right.